Hello, nerds! Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your Weekend Nerdom Music Edition for the week of February 26th, 2018. This week in music, we've got some new music, we've got some music feuds, we've got very interesting new ground for a popular record label, and all kinds of stuff to talk about, so let's jump into an intro real quick.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
Before we jump into the news, let's jump into the sponsor for this week's episode. This week's music episode is brought to you by the GenerallyNerdy.net t-shirt, which you see me wearing in basically all of these videos. Jump over to redbubble.com/people/generallynerdy to get your very own GenerallyNerdy.net t-shirt. At the bottom it says, the tagline, if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here. Generally Nerdy on Redbubble is the only place to get this. Redbubble.com/people/generallynerdy. That is the one and only place to get your GenerallyNerdy.net t-shirt. Now, let's jump into some music news, shall we? Okay, so new music news. We have another new song from The Sword, and we have some released tour dates. Whoa, words. We got a new set of tour dates from The Sword. I'll try and link to them in the description. There is a new video for their new single off of the next record, which is called Used Future. Check that out in the description as well. This new song is a lot less stoner rock for them, a little more straightforward rock and roll. Not that it's bad. I'm definitely not saying that anything The Sword has done yet is bad, but different. This is a little bit of a departure from sound. Not only is it less stoner proggy stuff in sonic elements, but also in like the length of time, the length of the song, and just an interesting take on their sound from them. So check that out. Let's talk about that in the comments section. Next, though, we have more new music from Underoath. This is the first song. The song is called On My Teeth. The new record that they're putting out is called Erase Me. The last record they put out was in 2010, and sonically they were a very different band. This new song, if this is indicative of their new direction now that they're back together, it's not horrible. It's not great by any means, but it's a decent departure from what we know from Underoath. So definitely not a bad take on their new sound. And it really seems like they're kind of distancing themselves from that Christian label, I guess. They drop an F-bomb in this song, and I don't listen to any Underoath extensively at all. Like, I'll catch a song every here and there, but I never downloaded any, never went to see them live, nothing like that. You can definitely check the link in the description to go listen to the song / watch the video. The video's nothing really noteworthy. It's a pretty standard performance video, but yeah, very interesting. I don't know what else to say about it. Oh, they signed to a new record label. They are now on Fearless Records. I believe they were on some Christian label before. I can't remember which one. But yeah, like I said, it seems like they're kind of distancing themselves from that Christian kind of aura that they had before. Not that they were singing songs about God. They were one of those bands that was a collection of Christians who make music together. I don't know. I haven't read any interviews with them recently kind of in reference to that, but very interesting. Again, they do get a little profane in this tune. So Definitely gonna keep my ear open for some newer stuff from them to see if it really is kind of a turning point for them and they are legitimately now a heavy band and not just a screamo band, but Lord only knows, time will tell with that. Next up, we are talking about Trivium and All That Remains. So, Phil Labonte from All That Remains, the lead singer, is a self-proclaimed libertarian. He, after the school shooting in Florida last week, he did a video in which he was talking about gun laws and how the proposed gun laws will really do nothing to stop this kind of gun violence. And I tend to be on his side about this. And all the people that are saying, well, we don't need those kinds of guns are only for the military. Here's the thing about the Second Amendment. Yes, there is the running joke that when the Founding Fathers wrote the Second Amendment, their idea was, bang! Bang! Not semi-automatics. However, they wrote it in the spirit of the people should be able to have the same weapons as the government in case the people deem it necessary to take action against the government, because you don't want the government to overpower the people, because governments, as they say in V for Vendetta, governments should be afraid of their people, not the other way around. So very much on Phil's side with that. Paolo Grego, I'm so sorry I'm saying his name wrong, I know it. Gregoletto from Trivium, the bass player from Trivium, said that he should, well, okay, so it's a bit of a longer timeline than that. So, Phil Labonte made a video talking about the gun laws. And then Metal Sucks, because Metal Sucks is so fantastic, metalsucks.net did a piece about it and gave it some coverage. And so a lot of people heard about it, and it was divisive, as you may have guessed. Now, then Phil Labonte did a response to that and went on InfoWars, which for that episode at least was being hosted by Milo Yiannopoulos and not crazy, what's-his-toes, Alex Jones. Woo, almost forgot the name. So, and then in response to that, that's where Paolo comes in. Paolo tweeted that Phil Labonte should stick to politics and just get out of music, because apparently the guys in Trivium don't really like All That Remains. And then it's been a Twitter war, and Paolo called Phil a discount Jesse Leach, I believe is the quote, which is hilarious. I don't know, it's just back and forth over differing opinions, and like, it feels like two bands striving for relevancy in a very politicized climate when neither of their images has been very political. They don't present themselves as a political band, so it seems a little silly to me, but I don't know. It's just really funny to watch these two quasi-celebrities go back and forth at each other. That's where we're going to leave that one. We're going to move on to the last bit of music news this week, and it has to do with Strange Music. Now, it's not hip-hop related, though. Strange Music is starting a new pop imprint, a new division of their label called Strange Maine. And they actually have 3 artists, but the first artist that is going to be releasing material is an artist called Mackenzie Nicole. Her new album is called The Edge. It is out April 13th. There is a single off of that album. You can check that out in the description. Pretty standard for the time pop. Nothing exceptional about it. Very safe pop, which seems very, very strange to me, being as it comes from Strange Music, because Strange Music is not safe hip-hop. They have a pretty niche market within the hip-hop community, and I feel like it would make more sense that they would do something similar with their pop acts, that they would be unique they would be unique at all. This Mackenzie Nicole song sounds really Chainsmokers-y and just bland and heartless, and very undynamic and overly produced and super compressed. Just every freaking horrible cliche about pop music right now, it finds its way into this song. And even the video is super cliche. So very, very interesting that it comes from a very well-established, different kind of record label as Strange Music. So the other thing of note for Mackenzie Nicole is she has been working with Strange Music for a little over 3 years now. She hasn't done her own records, but she has been singing hooks for their artists since about 2015. So yeah, very, very interesting. Hopefully some of the other acts that come from this side of Strange Music will be a little more unique and stand out in the crowd, because all of their hip-hop acts kind of have that element to them. So keeping our eyes open and our ears open for new music from Strange Maine. But that, guys, is where we're ending this week's music episode. Let me know what I missed. Let me know what we can talk about next week down low in those comments. If you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. You can find all the links to the stores, the links to the social media. Everything is up there. There's some interesting stuff going on with algorithms and other social media platforms. So we will talk about all that in this week's supplemental episode. So come back for that, because if you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on specifically Instagram, then the interactions they're looking for have changed, and we will discuss that. But if you are new to the channel, click the subscribe button and maybe ring that bell so that you get the alerts on time and not just wait for YouTube to email you. If you like this episode, click the like button. If you are falling behind on your nerd news and you want to catch up, click or tap to the left of my face right there to do that. But before you go, guys, please always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.